What's going on, you guys? My name is Seapeekay. No. My name's Owen, and I'm taking over for Callum while he's in the States. You're stuck with me, I'm afraid. This episode of Keys to Victory is MCC 19, the Christmas edition. Ooh. We're going to be looking at the teams, what games they're statistically strongest in, and what optimal game order they need if they want to get the most amount of coins possible for the event. It should be noted that for this MCC, there is actually only going to be 9 games, because Ace Race isn't in the roster. This means teams will only have 1 game that they can skip. Also, one more thing before we get started. Huge thank you to Ultra Sheepboard, whose statistics sheet we used in order to be able to make this video. Thanks so much for everything you do for the community, mate. It is much appreciated. Let's just jump right into it. So stupid. Let's start off with the Red Reindeers, consisting of Krinios, George Not Found, Puns, and Eret. Red's best game is... what do you think? Take a look at the team composition, think about it. Yep, there's Puns. Yeah, it's survival games. Puns has the highest individual average in the event, and that pulls Red's score up to a team average of 1379, almost 40% above the event average, and obviously the highest in the tournament. But every Achilles has their heel, and Red's is Grid Runners. Their worst game not just because of Grid Runners' low coin output, but also because they score a team average of 674, the second worst in the event, and 28% below the event average. If Red want to come out on top, they'll want to play these games in this order: Sands of Time, Hole in the Wall, Sky Battle, Build Mart to get to the other side, Battle Box, Parkour Tag, and Survival Game, skipping Grid Runners. This will land them in first place with 19,393 coins, 396 coins ahead of their main competitors, Cyan. Up next, we don't have an orange team, but a ginger one. Honestly, as a resident orange man, I can't help but be a little bit insulted, but you can't really stay mad at a name like Ginger Bread Men, emphasis on the space. This team consists of Grian, Pizza Hut, Solidarity, and Gemini Tay. This is a very versatile team, and I for one am particularly excited to see what game they decide to try to play last, as their top 3 games are Grid Runners, Build Mart, and Sands of Time, which, get this, they have a first place team average of in every single one of those. Build Mart with 33% above, Sands of Time with 36% above, and Grid Runners with 44% above average. Even with Pete on their team, they're a little weaker in the movement-based games. Ideally, they should skip to get to the other side and Parkour Tag, in which they earn 10 and 12% below the event averages, which means their optimal game order is Parkour Tag, Battle Box, Sky Battles, Survival Games, Hole in the Wall, Grid Runners, Build Mart, and Sands of Time, skipping to get to the other side. This puts them in first place with 19,242 coins, with Cyan in second place, 1,006 coins behind them. In the Yellow Yetis, we have Quig, Captain Sparkles, Carl Corvus, and Michael McChill. Yellow's best game is Build Mart. They score a team average of 1,223 coins, 23% above the event average. Their worst game is statistically Grid Runners, though they're only 2% below the event average, so even their worst game is pretty good. Their optimal game order is Survival Games, Parkour Tag, Sands of Time, Sky Battle, Hole in the Wall to get to the other side, Battle Box, and Build Mart, skipping Grid Runners. This would score them 17,824 coins and put them in 4th place. But because I've seen the script, I can actually tell you that they're going to place 3rd by 17 coins, so keep that in mind. Mint Mistletoes is up next, made up of In the Littlewood, Smallish Beans, False Symmetry, and Rendog. Their best game is Sands of Time. Not too surprising, as our Reddit roundup the other day showed an example of Martin's consistency in the game mode.
People maybe. In the Littlewood, also 4th place, like absolutely popping off.
They score a team average of 1275, 22% above the event average. Their worst game is Sky Battle, and unfortunately it's by quite a margin. They score a team average of 718, 28% below the event average, and the worst in the event, not including blue, which we'll get to in just a moment. Mint's optimal game order is Parkour Tag, Hole in the Wall to get to the other side, Battle Box, Grid Runners, Survival Games, Build Mart, and Sands of Time, skipping Sky Battle. This scores 15,918 coins and puts them in 8th, which may seem low, but this is less of a commentary on Mint's performance in these games and more of a performance of the team surrounding them. This optimal game order end loads games like Sands of Time, Build Mart, and Survival Games, which Lime do well in, but other teams such as Orange and Cyan unfortunately do better in statistically. Up next, we have the Emerald Elves, a very green team with Dream and the newcomer Slimesicle along with Tubbo and Rambo. For Charlie's statistics, we'll be using Quackity's stats. No reason why, just thought it'd be fitting. Green's best game is also Sands of Time. They score a team average of 1229, 17% above the event average. Their worst game is Build Mart. This isn't completely accurate, as we don't know how Charlie is going to perform in Build Mart, but it suddenly is the team's weakest game statistically. Survival Games is also on their list to skip, but if you want to know why that is, you'll want to see our analysis of Rambo's performance in the game type in our Keys to Victory MCC 18 video. Green's optimal game order is Survival Games, Hole in the Wall, Parkour Tag, Grid Runners to get to the other side, Sky Battle, Sands of Time, and Battle Box, skipping Build Mart. This earns them 18,757 coins and puts them in second, with Cyan in front by only 475. You've probably noticed Cyan's name has been popping up again and again so far, so let's see who's in it. The team's name is actually the Teal Turkeys, and it consists of Filzer, Sneak Snag, Tommy Innit, and Sapnap, a pretty cracked team. Their best game would have been Ace Race, if it was actually going to be included in the event, but in its absence, their next best game is Sky Battle. No surprise here with the PvP champion Sapnap, who has the second best game average in the event just after Quig, and Tommy, who always goes all in on this game mode. They score a team average of 13.48, the best in the event, an insane 46% above the event average. We've never seen a team percentage that high, I don't think. Their worst game is Build Mart. They score a team average of 870, only 16% below the event average, but it is the lowest in the event, not including blues. Their optimal game order is Grid Runners, Sands of Time, Parkour Tag, To Get to the Other Side, Hole in the Wall, Survival Games, Battle Box, and Sky Battle, skipping Build Mart. This puts them in first place with 19,754 coins, very close to breaching that 20k barrier. Up next we have Cerulean Candy Canes. You kidding me with this? Who did this? This team consists of Awesome Dude, Gumi, Fruitberries, and Rye Guy Rocky. The statistics aren't too kind to this team, but do keep in mind that statistics can and have been wrong many times before, and this could be no exception. This team's best game is Hole in the Wall, in which they score a team average of 1,043, 1% above the event average, which is kind of interesting. Their worst game is Parkour Tag, in which they get 748 coins, 24% below the event average. Their optimal game order is Battle Box, Sands of Time, Grid Runners, To Get to the Other Side, Sky Battle, Build Mart, Survival Games, and Hole in the Wall, skipping Parkour Tag. This puts them in 7th place with 15,237 coins, but personally, I'm rooting for Cerulean, and it's not just because I can't figure out whether or not I love or hate their name. Moving on with the Sapphire Santas with James Turner, Dr. Gluon, Fixella, and Zeus. Sapphire's best game is Hole in the Wall, in which they score a team average of 732, with their worst game being Sky Battle, where they score a team average of 309 coins. Sapphire's optimal game order is Parkour Tag, Grid Runners, To Get to the Other Side, Battle Box, Build Mart, Survival Games, Sands of Time, and Hole in the Wall, skipping Sky Battle. This would earn them 8,906 coins and put them in 10th place. Though the stats are certainly against them, the energy Sapphire are going to bring is unrivaled, and I'm looking forward to seeing the banter that they have. Next up, we have Purple Penguins made up of Wisp, Seapeekay, Tapple, and Neachu. And you know what? Just in the spirit of Christmas, I'm going to allow Callum to narrate his own team. Over to you, Callum. Oh yeah. Purple's best game is Battle Box. Wisp is a heavy hitter for this game type, and altogether this team has an average of 12.24, 22% above the event average. Their worst game is Build Mart with 926 and 10% below the event average. To get the most coins they can, Purple's optimal game order is Hole in the Wall, Grid Runners, To Get to the Other Side, Sands of Time, Sky Battle, Survival Games, Parkour Tag, and Battle Box, skipping Build Mart. This earns them 16,778 coins and puts them in 6th place. Finally, we have the Pink Presents. The contents of this team is Jack Manifold, Shovel, Wilbersoot, and Smager. Their best game is Grid Runners, and honestly, I'm here for it. At All Things MCC, we've been wanting a Grid Runners finale for what feels like forever, and this could be the event it happens. Pink would perform very well as well, with a team average of 1,166 coins, 34% above the event average. Their worst game is Battle Box, with a team average of 823 coins, 22% below the event average. If Scott wants to grab that first ever 5th MCC win, he'll want this game order: Sky Battle, Parkour Tag, Hole in the Wall, Survival Games, To Get to the Other Side, Sands of Time, Build Mart, and Grid Runners, skipping Battle Box, and of course, Ace Race. Sorry, Wilbur, no slam poetry this time. This earns them 17,032 coins and puts them in 4th place. Sounds unfortunate, but they're only 864 coins away from Cyan in 2nd place. You got this, gang. And that about wraps us up. I'm sorry. For this Keys to Victory and for MCC for the year. Here at All Things MCC, we want to say a huge thank you for all of the support you've given to our videos, and I want to say a special thank you on top of that for your warm welcome to the channel. We'll still be posting MCC videos throughout December and January, so if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. That you can do below. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Other than that, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. This hat is way too small.